Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. If you are new, make sure you are subscribing, smash the likes, and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Football finances, guys. It's taking over. It's taking over everything. We have cost of living crisis. We've got cost of Aston Villa crisis because it's getting very, very expensive to follow this football club that we all love. Right. So Villa announced how much it's going to cost to follow this great football club next season. So I feel like it's good to talk about it. I feel like it's important to talk about it. And I feel like it's important to hear your thoughts and for you guys at home to be able to have your say on how you're feeling and how you are affected by how much it costs to watch this football club. Are you still paying to watch it, or have you been able to just say, enough's enough, I can't do it anymore, it's too expensive? For me personally, I'll still pay. I'll still go. I will have a season ticket. I will go to literally every single game that's at home that I can. Well, I will go to them all. That's just the bottom line. But to look at it just through my eyes, I don't think that's right, and I don't think it's fair because we are a fan base and everybody's just as important as anybody else. If you live in Australia, if you live in New York, if you live in Europe, if you support the club from wherever, you are just as much as a fan as someone that goes to the games. Circumstances change. You might have been a season ticket holder when you were younger and moved and gone to live abroad, etc. You've lived and breathed Villa. You're just as much as a fan as everybody else. So I hate this whole just because you go to games means you're a bigger and a better fan than somebody else. I don't buy that whatsoever. I think once this club gets you, you are a massive fan and you can live and breathe it however you choose to live and breathe and however you choose to support the team, then that's just as good as somebody else. So I want to hear your thoughts really, and I want to look at it through somebody else's eyes as well, and because I think just because I go, you know, some people might have been forced out or not been able to go and priced out, etc. And it's it's sad. It's sad that that can happen. We saw it with the Champions League tickets. 90 pop a game for some. If you're a season ticket holder, it was 70. If you're talking two people in one family, that's 140 plus kids. You could be talking like just shy of 400 quid for one game, which is a lot of money when you're talking about how much a season ticket costs. And a season ticket costs, my next season is going to be about 856. So it's very, very expensive. So we're going to break down what Villa have said, how much it's going to cost to watch Villa next season. Right. Well, I'll go through the main bits, and there's other bits that we don't really need to go through. We'll kick it off with the bit at the start. Ahead of what's set to be another unforgettable season at Villa Park, we wanted to share with you a number of important updates to our ticketing policy for the 25-26 season. We've consulted the fan advisory board throughout this process to make sure your voices were heard. The changes we're making are built on 4 key principles that guide how we think about ticket pricing and access. A packed Villa Park, we want every home game to be played in front of a full house while continuing to meet the financial regulations that we must follow. Fairer access for all fans. We want to balance loyalty with new opportunities, rewarding those who've stood by us while opening the gates to more villains. Embracing the next generation, we're making it easier for more young supporters to be part of this magical match day magic. This is very important because young people are the next generation. I'm an adult, I'll go. 30, 40 years' time, I might not go. I probably will. But in that period of time, you're going to have younger fans that are going to the games. So it's important that we blood them in early and get them on board. Loyalty matters. Your continued support means everything. And we want to recognise that commitment in how we structure access and pricing. You'll find a breakdown of key changes below, grouped into clear sections so you can see what's new. The big one, season tickets. For the 25-26 season tickets and match by match prices for adults will rise by 5%. This is consistent with several other Premier League clubs. In line with our goal of encouraging young fans to join our matchday audience, under 21 ticket prices will be frozen at 24-25 prices. Our pricing strategy reflects careful consideration, ensuring we can create as strong a team as possible, one capable of challenging at the top end of the Premier League table and remaining competitive in European football, while continually working within the parameters of both Premier League and UEFA profit and sustainability rules. So it's been outlined there and justified for the price increase of 5% that we want to create as strong a team as possible, one capable of challenging at the top end of the Premier League and continually working within parameters of both Premier League, UEFA, and profit and sustainability rules. So are you telling me, Villa, that if I renew my season ticket, Emi Martinez is going to stay? No, doesn't work like that. I think the 5% is frustrating. And personally, for me, like I said earlier, it's not, you can't look at it just for me, can you? You've got to look at it for other people. It's okay. It takes mine from 8.16 to 8.50 something to 8.56, I think. So you're looking at a 40 something, 50, 40 or 50. I think it's about 40 something pound. So spread that over the games, on a game by game basis, it's okay. But the problem is, it went up last year, didn't it? And it went up the year before. And I know it's the price of success, but what's got to give here? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the tipping point? What's the cut-off line here for a lot of people? Because when we first got promoted to the Premier League, mine was about 6.50. So yeah, we were scrambling around trying to survive, and now we've been watching Champions League football. So the increase in that time has been 200 quid. So if we do another 5%, 5%, 5%, we're talking like over £1,000 for a season ticket in 3 years' time, which is, it's just getting ridiculous, isn't it? Like, what's the cut off there? Like, you could be at like 1.5, nearly £2,000 eventually. So it's frustrating, and it's just, it's, for as much as we want the team to compete, the burden cannot keep being put on the fans. We love the club. I love the club. But it's not my sole responsibility to make sure that this club financially is stable and able to compete. We've seen here that the whole strategy is reflecting around the performance and having a Premier League team that's as strong as possible. And you look at teams like Chelsea, selling hotels, selling women's teams. We've got to get creative here somewhere, and we've got to find another loophole, because our loophole cannot be each season the fans are taking the biggest brunt of what's going on. So, I'm fine. I can go. That's okay. But I don't know, Steve and Dave down the road with a family, can they keep doing this 5% business? No, and it's not fair. It's not fair for them to not be able to go because financially they can't afford it. So you'll get, on the other hand, like, while we're competing, while we're watching great football, while the owners are pumping money in, like, there's different ways of looking at it, but I think the pricing of families out of football is, it makes me angry every time I even say those words. So what do you get with your season ticket? A seat at Villa Park, guaranteed. You guaranteed your seat for every home match. Priority access to away and cup tickets, including Europa League. Free entry to the under 21s. Free subscription to Villa TV. 10% retail discount, which is good. I think that's a good touch. 10% off your shirt. Could it be 15? Yeah, but fair play. 8-month interest free. No admin or booking fees across season ticket holders for renewal or purchase. Digital season ticket. Improved ticket sharing and resale functionality with no additional charges. So the club are also covering all the fees, interest, and service charges for any option who take out the interest-free payment option. So that is good. The renewal window opens on the 4th of June and closes on the 4th of July. Ticket brackets have changed. So, as part of the club's efforts to make access to games fairer and more accessible, the ticketing categories have been recognised for the 25-26. The ranking of the categories does not represent a ranking of prices, with category 1 or 2 not necessarily more expensive than category 3 or 4. Under 21s have stayed the same price, which is good. Following the success of the 24-25 FA Cup campaign, following the success of the 24-20, when it was semi-successful, we got to a semi-final, but it wasn't actually success, was it? Because we lost in the semi-final. But I imagine they're talking about off-pitch success. The club can confirm that domestic cup prices will remain frozen. The club were encouraged that almost 15,000 spectators for our home FA Cup games were visiting for the first time, and that 13% were under 14 years of age. On that basis, prices are £25 for adults, £10 for under 18 concessions. Brilliant. So we'll talk about the kids in a second, because they're doing something with the season tickets. So Europa League, guys, prices. I'll be interested to get your thoughts on the Europa League. So our matches played in the Europa League next season will fall into match category 2, group stages, and match category 1, knockout stages. So group stage, for me, price zone 2, 51. So 51 for where I sit. Champions League was 70. So a decent reduction. 51 for Europa League group games, I think is quite fair. I think. I think 51. What could it have been? You could say it could have been 35 for, but I think 51 when Champions League was 70 is okay. Category 1, so for the knockouts, goes up to 61. So a £10 increase. You've got, and then non-season ticket holders 71, and then category 2 is like, so it's £10 more if you're not a season. So I think they're all right. Like I think they're okay. Like it's cheaper than Champions League, which you'd expect, but you don't know sometimes, do you? They could have just kept it at the same and gone, it's a European night, guys. European nights, they're all the same. Right, so the season ticket waiting list. To reward loyalty and commitment from our active fans, we've reviewed and subsequently changed the season ticket waiting list. At the end of 24-25 season, there were approximately 45,000 people on the waiting list. 46% of those have not bought a ticket in over 2 years. So the club have identified this, and they want to sort of give you an opportunity to be able to get it and to move ahead in the queue. So to be able to do that, you'll get 100 points for being a member, 1 point for attendance of each EPL home game over the last 2 years, 2 points for the attendance at a domestic or European home tie. Those on the waiting list with 0 points will be removed. You'll also get points if you go to a women's game, which again helps grow the women's game, which is good. So you'll be able to earn more points there. It's £10 to do this, and then you'll get it off your season ticket. The only issue I've got with this is that taking people off the waiting list who have been on it. So if you are an adult and you're on that waiting list and you haven't been to any game, then okay, fair enough. But if you are a child and you as an adult want to take your child to the games as a season ticket holder, and they've not been going to any games because you might have your own seat, you can't move your seat, you don't want to move your seat, etc. You sit with the people or whatever. Then that child won't be have been building an allocation. They won't be been going to the games. So if you're wiping someone off who wants to take their child as a season ticket holder, then that's not right, surely. So I think they probably could have looked at that and seen how old before wiping people off. Maybe they can see how old people are, because you know, you want if you want your child to go with you, then they're on the waiting list and they're not going to be. So I think that's a bit random. So the season ticket usage, they've changed that as well now. So before, if you wanted to give your ticket to a friend, you'd have to phone and sort of say, giving it to my friend, put it in their name. There's going to be an app now where you're able to nominate 8 friends and family at the start of the season. You can just press the button and you'll be able to share it with your friends and family. And then you'll still be able to exchange it as well. So I think that's a good process, because phoning is a disaster. The stadium capacity, there's going to be 379 new seats with 14 new disabled positions. And then they're also talking about the North Stand being sort of like redeveloped, etc. Season tickets being able to be put into there as well. So yeah, so I think there's some good, some like little dark areas in what they've said here. I think Europa League prices is okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the majority think on the Europa League prices. But how do you feel about this 5%? How do you feel about the finances of supporting this football club now as well? And have you been priced out? Let us know your experience, etc. So I just thought I'd do this episode because it's important that we don't just overlook it and just sweep stuff under the carpet. I want you to be able to have a voice and express how you're feeling regarding things as well. There is one other little thing that I think is a bit I don't know. The more I've thought about this, the more I've thought, I think it's a bit, I think it's a bit wrong, guys. And it's the shirts. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what I mean. You might be able to catch my drift here. So last week, Villa announced and brought out the new away shirt. Okay. And I always buy, and I'm a sucker for it. And I know we're talking about finances here and the cost of Villa, etc. I always buy the Pro. I'll tell you why I buy the Pro. Because it's the shirt. It's the shirt that the players wear. It is the exact shirt that they wear. Fabric, pattern. You look at the shirt that they're wearing. That is the shirt that you go in and buy. Yes, it's more expensive. But I was looking at this shirt they bought out last week. And for the price of it, 80 something pounds. For not the shirt. It's not the shirt. It doesn't have the patterns on the front. It's just plain. It's a completely different shirt. So the more I think about it, I'm just like, it's bad. It's bad that it's 80 odd quid and it's not the same shirt. It's completely different. Look, I think I remember years ago, right? I think I remember years ago when we used to do like the Pro and the normal. The Pro would be like a slightly different fabric, a bit more fitted. It used to be like really fitted, and you used to be like, I ain't wearing that. Like it's like fitted to hugging you. And I remember that shirt. I can't remember what make it was. Might have been Macron or something like that, or something like that. And the shirt looked the same, but it was just the fabric was different. And this shirt that came out the other day looks it's a bit like it, but it's not the shirt, guys. It doesn't have the little circles that are all on the front of it. And it just got me thinking, like, that's poor, that is. It's poor that it's not. I think you get what I'm trying to say. It's like you want the new shirt, but you're not really wearing the actual shirt. You're wearing like a remake of it. So, yeah, I'll get the Pro version of it because I think it's the version of it. And I know a lot of people probably can't afford to do that. And that's definitely fine, but that's not where I'm not saying that everybody should go and buy that Pro. What I'm saying is it should be the same shirt with the same pattern, but just a different fabric then. So what I'm saying is I don't agree with the fact that you're all buying a shirt that's nothing like the actual main shirt. So frustrated. It annoyed me. It annoyed me. So I'll just have a little bit of a rant about the shirt, to be fair. I think it's brilliant that the shirts have come out early. We're not waiting until September. But I think for it to look different, it's not really good, is it? It's not really good. If you're all paying 80 odd quid for a shirt that don't look like what the players are wearing. So anyway, there we go. Rant over. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on ticket pricing, on season ticket pricing, on anything that I've discussed on this episode. In the comments, I'm sure it'll be a nice little hub of how we're all feeling. So cheers everyone for watching. Up the Villa.